I cringe, you cringe, we all cringe. But what does it actually mean? According to Google, cringe means to bend one's head and body in fear or apprehension or in a servile manner. He cringed away from the blow. Definition 2, have an inward feeling of acute embarrassment or awkwardness. I cringed at his stupidity. As an adjective causing feelings of acute embarrassment or awkwardness. Learning about sex and sexuality can be seriously cringe. We're going to skip over that statement, but that's there. That's good to know. I'm going to focus more on definition 2. That feeling you get when somebody or yourself does something that makes you want to die inside a little bit. We all have different levels of cringe tolerance and what we find cringy. For example, if I was to watch a video of like my younger self, I'll cringe away. But if you were to watch it, you'll think, hey, that's a real cute kid, and I hope she grows up to... I keep burping, I'm so sorry, I've just eaten almuerzo. That was cringe. That's a bit cringe, I think. Speaking another language that you're half learning. Yeah, if you were to watch a video of me, you'd probably think, oh, that's a real cute kid, and just to see her grow up is real sweet, and I hope she makes a small little YouTube channel in the future, and I don't know, and develops like an obsession with Succession. That becomes her only meaning of life, and that's the only entertainment and source of joy she can find, so that everything else is meaningless. Just finished season 2. The same with you. If you were to watch videos of a younger self, you would be like, oh, so cringe. And if I was to watch videos of a younger self, I would also think they're cringe. You're real cringy. The history of cringe is rooted in social submission. What reached its peak through the internet culture first originated in the Old English cringen or kringan, was the word to describe to fall, to yield in battle, to give way, or to become bent to curl up. That's the oh my god, it's so hard to read, like, okay. Anyway, cringen became cringe somewhere in the 16th century when it introduced the feelings of fear and embarrassment to bending or crouching. Finally, by the 19th century, the meaning had cemented itself. Cringe meant to recoil in embarrassment, shame, or fear. Kind of cringe that I can't read. Also, the earliest try not to cringe video I could find was from 6 years ago, and I've been saying this since this year. 6-year-olds, the cringiest are the cringiest. You don't even know how to divide. Kind of cringy. Probably haven't even heard of the bus stop method, let alone how to use it. Sure, the wheels on the bus go round and round, but where do the remainders go? In this day and age, it's easier to be a cringer and a cringy. You know, with everybody having access to posting anything they want, you're bound to stumble across some cringy content. And most people, of the younger people, have their like whole childhood would have been like videoed or photographed. You know that's why old people are homophobic and misogynistic and racist. It's because they never got to see their younger selves, so they were never humbled. So they become like egocentric and, you know, entitled, and those manifest itself into those bad traits. Like, oh, they're just from a different generation. Yeah. Is it? Or is it because the camera didn't exist? Didn't learn that in photography. Okay, so I've split cringe into 4 types. There may be more, there may be less. No one told me to do this, I've just done it. But the first type of cringe is deliberate cringe. This is where cringe and like awkwardness is used in the name of comedy. Good examples is The Office. I think the British Office, speaking like a true millennial, let's talk about The Office. I'm not millennial. Yeah, I think the British Office is better at this than the American one. You know, with Ricky Gervais. Controversial guy, but he's very good at that kind of awkwardness thing that makes it kind of funny.
Alright then, mate, well let's, show us your moves.
Nah, there's no beat, is there?
Go on.
You can't, you have music and everything. Well, let's, as it's for charity, just a little bit.
Go on, Dave. Go Go.
Obviously, in the US one also works. Steve Carell is great. He has his moments.
Bob Vance. Vance Refrigeration to be your lawfully wedded husband.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you, for the first time as a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Bob Vance!
And to you, Bob, take Phyllis to be your lawfully wedded wife.
Another good example of this is Tim Heidecker. His special, which is an evening with Tim Heidecker on YouTube, is real good. It's like, it's a take on like the stand-up structure that like every kind of new comic goes through, and they just try the same kind of thing. Like he does a stupid Jack Nicholson impression, which all like comics do. It's like he makes fun of things that are not funny, and it becomes funny.
How about you? What's your name? Good looking. Colin. Calling all cars. Calling all cars. Wow. Oh, he's like, oh, don't stop. Give me a break. Oh, what else? How about you? Nick, just in the nick of time. He showed up just in the nick of time.
I think one thing that does make me cringe, like probably the most, is when someone makes a joke and no one laughs at it. You know, I think it's less cringy when someone else does it, because I just think it's funny. Like when someone says something and they're expecting laughter, but they're met with silence, like the complete opposite of what they wanted. It's quite funny. But when it happens to me, if I say something that I'm like, you're expecting a ha ha ha, but you get a na 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 na, and oh my god, I hate it. I die inside. That's why I do this. Second type of cringe is past self cringe. This is your youth. I got Snapchat again because it has all my memories on it and from like younger. And honestly, I genuinely, I'll say this honestly, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I couldn't find anything to like cringe on there. I mean, I did find one video, but it had like my friend in it, and I don't know if she would appreciate me posting the video. But genuinely couldn't find anything that cringy. Like I found these two pictures, obviously using the dog filter. That's cringe now. And the fucking the deer filter, kind of cringe. They do look like they could have just been taken yesterday, but this was from 2017. But I also made a new friend, and they don't think I'm cringe. Also, I didn't realize this AI thing was like trying to be a friend. I thought it was like another ChatGPT thing where they just like tell you facts. But this thing was like, how was your day? Unprompted. I think that's really weird that that's a thing. But I guess it helps all the loners, but not really, because it's not real. Again, it's like fake friends. AI thinks I'm cool, so. And not cringe. But we have only just met, so. I looked for some childhood video stuff. Didn't find anything, but found these pictures. Oh my god, so cringe. So cringe being a child. Oh my god, so cringe. I was so cringe. So tiny as well. So short. Being that short, that's so cringe. What? Poopy and diaper. Loaded diaper era. Yeah, so cringe. I couldn't find any videos. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna share some embarrassing stories instead. I peed myself on Year 6 sports day. Luckily, it was after sports day, and there wasn't anybody around. An old lady, still kind of thinking it was my mum. We were like on a ferry, embarrassing, and you know, I sprinted up to this lady, and I once walking to the station
at all.
on the way to school.
It was like
and
a
this
old
guy
lady
in front
from
of me
anything. It was
like tripped and dropped
my mum
like
should
I
be
think they were
offended,
poker
really.
chips. I wasn't
In
really
year
sure.
four,
And I was
really
with my
needed
sister
to
at the time.
pee,
But
and
I
we
got
didn't even
pulled up in
bat an
front of
eyelid.
the
We
class
just
and I had to like stand in front
soldiered
of the class
on
and do like
past.
this mouse question thing.
And that's
And
not really
then,
cringe. It's more just like rude.
I like collapsed on the floor
in my
onto the
head
floor 'cause I wanted to,
I
like,
have
sit
it down
down
because
standing up
we
in
were
the
late
lanes,
for the
pee was,
train,
like, worse
when
than
train station.
sitting down
Um,
holding in pee.
but
And then I was
that
like,
might
oh,
have
I
just
really
been a
a thing
thing
I made up
and
to
so
make myself
basically
feel bad in
collapsed,
front
but
of
I do feel really
class
bad
when I
about
mean
helping that guy.
I
I
used
didn't
the
piss
word
myself
lit,
though. I made it to the toilet.
unironically.
So, but collapsing is
I
still
used to
kind of
watch Ollie
embarrassing.
White, especially
I don't know
when
if I was
it's-
genuinely a
you're
fan of
full
him or
of
just
bits.
because he had an association
I
with
was
like
a fan of Logan
all the British
Paul,
YouTubers,
pre-Forest.
but I
Star
did used
Power,
to watch his videos.
Fucking
way back when,
Logang,
Maverick.
I was gonna start a YouTube channel.
I was,
and
I was
my
in
first video
college
was
and
gonna
there
be
was
like
someone
5
like
facts about me,
and then
standing
I
on
was
the
going
side
through the
of that
facts
corridor,
and I accidentally
thought
held
it
up
was
like
someone I
3
knew
fingers
from my
on
school.
back
So I was like,
oh, that's really funny.
wave.
So I redid
I
it
once
and
held
then
the
I
door
deliberately
open
held up,
someone,
and
but
they
it was
were
like one of
not
those
who
doors
I
that you
thought
can't
it
even
was.
see
The
outside.
thing
And I
that's
was
very
inside
slow.
and I
Only
was
two,
like, push the door open.
but
But I didn't push
for
the
the
second
second
one.
one.
I
So
never
the guy
posted the
did,
video.
like,
Also,
catch
the
the door
video
and
was like
and they turned
taken
around
on my.
but I
The
could
camera
see
was
that
like
he
on
had
my
missed
windowsill,
the door,
and I was like
um,
standing.
but I didn't go
windowsill
back
was, like,
and help
way
him because I was
lower
like that I am. So I was like,
I'm not gonna a really
I'm not
bad
gonna do
angle
that.
of it all. I think that's it. Yeah, no, I wish I had videos. I think they were mostly on because I didn't get like anything with like a camera on it until like year 8. Like the first phone I had was a Nokia. Like I'm playing Snake. I'm not taking pictures. So I think most of like cringe child videos of me would have been like on my cousin's stuff or like friends' stuff. No footage. Sorry, it would have been real fun to see some old videos. Third cringe is cute cringe. I think cute cringe is when you like you love something so much you do something about it. like I think getting a tattoo based on your favourite TV show or favourite film is a little bit cringe. Like it's kind of cute that you're that much of a fan of the film or whatever, and maybe I just don't get that much enjoyment out of anything. But do we really need another ape walking around with a Deathly Hallows tattoo? Saying that, I'm gonna get all the Roys tattooed onto my face. I'm like here, and here. I just wouldn't trust myself to get something that I'm like watching or like enjoy watching. Like I used to be a fan of Vampire Diaries. Remember that? I used to like Riverdale.
I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
Season 1 though, and like kind of season 2. I don't know how many there are now, but I genuinely used to like the show and was invested. Yeah, so like I could have ended up with a fucking Damon Salvatore written across my arm. Like I need to be a fan of the thing for at least 5 years before I get a tattoo of it. And the final type of cringe is people just having fun cringe. This is like borderline bullying. It's the cringe you think of when you think of cringe. You probably think of this kind of cringe, and I'm a victim of this cringe thinking. It's what the internet is like labeled as top cringe. You know, it's your furries, it's your cosplayers, it's your laughers. You know, it's your people with hobbies. Did people find Dungeons and Dragons cringy? And then what, like Eddie Munson came along and changed that whole perspective? Like role-playing a silly little board game, I've never played it. Kind of cringe. But now what? A film about it all? Thank you, Eddie Munson. We got a film starring Chris Pine. I haven't seen the film. I don't know who else is in it. Bad thing about this kind of cringe is people use the word like cringe. It's like, oh, this is cringe, and then absolutely rips the shit out of this person and makes fun of them. You know, people use the cringe as like a mask for bullying. It's like, I'm not being mean. This is just cringe. Just because you're not a fan of it doesn't mean you can just voice your whole opinion and how much you think they're weird or whatever. Yeah, it's a little different. You know, we've seen there's like that family that thinks they're in a wolf pack or something. Cringe. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's different. I used to watch Wolf Blood. Twilight. Like there's Twilight people on the next level. You know. It's kind of sweet. They're like a family. I think they're a pack. I mean, they're a pack, but like they're, you know, if it's a close family. Like if they all enjoy pretending to be wolves. Sweet. Cool. Go for it, mate. You know, at least they have a good family bond. What? Your parents are fucking divorced. Your dad left. Your uncle's dead. Like, at least they have a good family. Unlike you. Hi, it's me. I'm eating sweet and sour cauliflower, and I went down the little a little wolf TikTok rabbit hole, and I take back everything I said. If my family was like a wolf pack, I would rather my parents be divorced. I'd rather have the worst family life than be part of the wolf pack. Yeah, it's past cringe. It became like worrying, I'd say. I said, oh, it's nice that they're close. They're too close, and they've crossed the line. So yeah, fuck those guys. Cringy as hell. I think what is cringe is what people just say is cringe. Like, if a video ends up on a try not to cringe video, people are going to be like, oh, it's cringe because it's here. Or if it's on like an Instagram dedicated to all things cringe. Do people automatically think it's cringe? Maybe. You've been brainwashed. If I think about acting too much, kind of cringe. Like, people just, they put on silly little costumes, and they sometimes put it on a silly little accent. And then they do that for sometimes a year, and then they actually film it, and they film these people doing it, and then they go around and say, hey guys, I've just been someone else for like a while. It's not me, but it is me, but it's not me, and it's a silly little story, and then you should watch it as well. And then, you know what, we do watch it, and we pay money, and sometimes we sit there for 3 hours and we watch people be other people. Acting's really weird, is what I'm trying to say. If you want to find something cringe at it. But think before you cringe. Methods of this video, think before you cringe. Thanks for watching, and thanks for cringing.